Anthony Joshua's accident, he's saying, based on sources, that he will never come back to Nigeria again. This is something that we all need to reflect on as Nigerians. He said he's not coming again because he is traumatized. Let me just give you a few reflections on what I'm thinking is why he decided not to come back. The Federal Road Safety Commission already said that it was by reckless driving by the driver. A lot of these interstate drivers that you hire, they think they own the road and they go very fast. A lot of times when I travel by road with my family, my husband is always in front telling the driver to slow down, constantly saying, please slow down, please slow down. So a lot of the drivers drive really fast and think that they own the road. That's one thing that is wrong. In addition to that, we do not have a strategic emergency service in Nigeria, especially in these interstate roads. When there's an accident that happens, the police comes or the corresponding agency in Nigeria's case, and then there needs to be an ambulance that comes in. And not only that, the police service, they need to then cross off the road, like cross off the road until they've cleared everything that is happening. Not the fact that people crowd up there and are taking pictures and are using their phones to tape something so private and so catastrophic. So by the time this young man gets to the hospital, he sees videos all over social media about his ordeal. Only God knows how traumatic that must be. And the unalived bodies of his very close associates and friends. You find them on social media. Only God knows how the man must have been feeling. So he gets to the hospital, he sees that. They have to get him out of the car, put him in another car, not even on a stretcher in an ambulance that will be able to drive him to the hospital. So we don't have that in Nigeria. The problem we have here in America is that we have these ambulance services, but some of us are saying, Mogbe, the ambulance bill. Don't come before you now bill me after everything is over. That is a different scenario. If you can afford it, you get it. If you can't afford it, you know what you're going to do. But when you're in an emergency situation and you are unconscious or you are in extreme pain, you will take that ambulance by force. So this is a case of infrastructure decay and process mismanagement. So these are some of the issues that happened during Anthony Joshua's accident. As you know, it already happened. A lot of the details are all over social media. So I'm not going to repeat what millions of my fellow creators and news outlets and newspapers have already put out in terms of some of the facts and details. I'm just going to think about the aftermath and the PTSD and survivor's guilt that Anthony Joshua must be feeling post this accident. So I would just advise us and the Nigerian government that we need to localize our processes. The reason why places like the US and the UK and other developed countries are able to access these ambulance services is because there's localized governance structures. If there's localized governance structures, then these things will be within the budget so that they can be funded and implemented. If monies are funneled down into the local governments are able to provide the police, the fire services, the ambulance services, and some of these things that are closer to the grassroots. Then, as the case may be, as you call Nigeria's version of 911 or 999, we can now get those kind of services. The Supreme Court has already mandated the president to send these monies to the local government. But the president is still pandering to the governors and saying, I have the yam and the knife. Please, this is an issue that needs to be talked about very squarely, because Dirty December is happening now. Nigeria is now going into the world, especially when it comes to tourism. We're making billions of dollars in tourism. We don't want this to be a factor that will impede our progress. So this Anthony Joshua issue should be a cautionary tale to us Nigerians, our government, our infrastructure. We need to make this right so that more ambassadors like Anthony Joshua do not get traumatized and refuse to come back home. A lot of people in the diaspora have experienced kidnappings and issues with insecurity in Nigeria, and with trauma, they go back home and never come back. A lot of these car accidents happen. People go back home to their various countries abroad and never come back. I already know some of my family members that have that story. So this is a cautionary tale to us as Nigerians, the Nigerian government, to take note and let stories like this not happen again.